How's it going, gamers? Rebel X here in the War Room, and today we're looking at The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Tips and Tricks Part 4. This is going to be looking at more abilities to buy to help power up Geralt, how you can earn a little extra cash with dealing with blacksmiths, where you can find two very powerful swords on the islands of Skellige, and finally, how to take down the Woodland Spirit. So let's get into that right here, right now. So let's talk about your abilities first. Now, one of the new abilities I recommend you get for Geralt later on in the game is called Focus. Focus allows you to use up adrenaline points to increase your damage output and also your sign output. This is very useful to have in this game much later on once you arrive on the islands of Skellige, because there's just a lot of tough enemies to fight here. The next ability we're going to look at here is called Firestorm. Firestorm allows you to use your fire spell in sort of a flamethrower way. It allows you to shoot a line of fire from your hand, lighting any target that gets hit by it on fire. Adrenaline Burst, which allows you to generate a burst of energy, a 5% increase on your sign abilities. And Fleet-Footed, which allows you to dodge enemies and not take so much heavy damage once you dodge their attacks. Now let's talk about how you can earn money in a much quicker way in this game once you start messing around with blacksmiths. Now, in this game, throughout the game, you'll be collecting diagrams that build swords. One thing I've tried here is that once you've collected a sword that is both easy to make and still generates about, I'd say, 200 coin or so to sell back to a blacksmith, make as many of those swords as you can at a blacksmith that has those materials on hand to make that sword. In this game, blacksmiths will automatically regenerate material once you leave and once you're done talking to them, and then re-engage with them in a conversation. Those materials that you use to build that sword will replenish automatically. This is a neat trick to use when you want to make a lot of money in this game. So craft a sword using the material the blacksmith has, sell it back to that blacksmith, exit out of the conversation, get back to talking to the blacksmith, collect that same materials again because they'll be replenished, and continue to do this over and over again, and you'll make quite a bit of money selling back to the blacksmith. Now let's talk about those two rare swords I mentioned earlier. The first one you will find here on the main island of Skellige at this lake. If you see where my icon's at, head towards that general direction. When you arrive, you'll be keeping your eyes open for that tower as you see right there on the screen. This abandoned tower at the very bottom of it has a chest in it. In this chest lies a diagram for a Griffon silver sword master crafted diagram. This sword is one of the most powerful swords you can get for Geralt when fighting monsters. I highly recommend you go out of your way when you arrive at Skellige to find this building and get this sword diagram. It takes quite a bit of materials to make this sword, but it is well worth it. It will make your life hunting monsters a hell of a lot easier, especially at the very end parts of this game. So please do go out of your way if you want a badass sword to fight monsters with. Now the next sword we're going to talk about is a relic sword, a Steel Relic sword. You will find this sword actually in the hide of a monster. You'll have to head towards the lighthouse, which is still attached to the main island in Skellige. When you arrive there, you'll have to do a mission to help this bozo out, to help clear out the light tower of Race. This is actually kind of a bit of a tough mission here, especially if you're playing on a harder difficulty. The object of this level is to defend him, this gentleman right here on the right hand side of Geralt, of lighting the lighthouse and clearing out the fog and holding off this wraith while you're doing it. This wraith is actually invincible until the lighthouse is lit. You'll just have to keep dodging him and buying time so that guy can light the tower and just stay alive. But once the tower is lit, you'll then be able to fight against this guy and take him down. One of his main abilities is to be able to summon 4 other wraiths to fight by his stead once you've hit him a couple times. Once the fog lifts, this guy's really easy to kill. He'll split apart again to summon those 4 other wraiths, take them out, and then just continue to stun him and knock him out as many times as you can. Dodge some of his attacks when he comes around. He does do a lot of heavy damage if you're a level between 14 and 15 when you face him. But if you're level 17 to 18 or 19, you can take him apart very, very quickly. The relic sword that he holds inside of his hide is well worth the trouble in taking him down and completing this mission. As you can see, not only is this sword powerful, it also looks badass as well. Attach a few ruin stones to this sword, and this will definitely be one of your favorite weapons to use for Geralt for some time to come. Now the time has come to talk about the Woodland Spirit boss. Now this is actually a character you can run into in a side mission, but also in the woods of Skellige if you're not careful. Now his main weakness is fire, but before we get into that, the Woodland Spirit has a couple unique abilities. The first one is to summon a pack of wolves to fight by his side. I recommend you break off from the fight with the Woodland Spirit, lead the wolves away, and kill them while he's trying to relocate himself to fight you. Kill these wolves and then harvest their hides and keep their meat ready to be digested when you're fighting this character. The other ability he has too is to summon crows to fight by his stead. He'll do this in one of two ways. The first way, as you see right here, is that when you attack him a couple times, only hit him 3 or 4 times and then back off. When he bursts in that cloud of smoke, the crows will rush right in and try to cover him as he's escaping. They will do heavy damage to you. The other ability that these crows will do is that when he points at you, the crows will come sweeping in. Allow your burst of flame, light those crows on fire as they come sweeping in, and try to kill as many of them as you can. Now finally, when it's only you and him, the next thing you want to try and do is dodge his root attack. This is the ability he does when he slams his hands to the ground and roots pop up where you're standing. Wait till the last minute. When you see those little puffs of smoke coming from the ground, wait till the last minute to dodge. If you dodge too early, the roots will pop up where you land, and these roots are so damn powerful that with just 2 hits, they can kill you. Continue to light him on fire, continue to roll and dodge him every time, only hit him 3 or 4 times when you move in closely, and just continue to lay waste to him on fire, and eventually you will take down the Woodland Spirit. Be careful of those roots, wait till the last minute to dodge, and eventually you will take him down. Alright gamers, that's all the time we have for here today in the War Room. Hope you enjoyed our quick gameplay tips and tricks vid on The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Part 4. We're going to be doing a lot more gameplay tips and tricks vids on this game very soon. So keep it here in the War Room, and until next time, we'll see you guys here in the War Room.